Here are some key distinctives of sexual discipleship. First of all, it teaches us how to think about sexuality, not what to think. It gives you a framework or a worldview of how to navigate questions like the ones that you just tried to tackle. It doesn't just give you a list of rules to follow. Secondly, sexual discipleship is for all believers of all stages of life. Yes, it looks different for a 5-year-old than it does for a 30-year-old single Christian, than it does for a 50-year-old married Christian, but we all need to be disciplined in our sexuality. Thirdly, sexual discipleship means the integration of sexuality with evangelism and discipleship. For far too long, sexuality has been viewed as a special topic just for the experts. But as you're learning in ministry, you need to be equipped. You can't just keep farming these questions out. You need to know how to integrate this material and this conversation into the work that you do in sharing about Jesus Christ and in helping people follow him. Through this course, you're going to learn why addressing sexual issues is core to effectively sharing God's love with unbelievers and to strengthening Christians in their daily walk with the Lord. This is an add-on, but it's an essential aspect of our lives that impacts how we relate to God. Fourth, sexual discipleship aims for maturity, not just simply sin management. In Ephesians 4, Paul talks about the purpose of the spiritual gifts within the body of Christ. Here's what he wrote: to equip God's people for works of service, so that the body of Christ might be built up until we all reach unity in the faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature, aligning to the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. Then we will no longer be infants tossed back and forth by the waves and blown here and there by every wind of teaching, and by the cunning and craftiness of people in their deceitful scheming. Instead, speaking the truth in love, we will grow to become in every respect the mature body of him who is head, that is Christ, from whom the whole body is joined together and held by every supporting ligament, grows and builds itself up in love as each part does its work. That's what I'm talking about when I say sexual discipleship. Think about your own walk with God. Think about the congregations or the people that you lead. Are they mature and grounded in the truth and love of God related to sexuality? Or are they tossed to and fro by the winds of culture and by the deceitfulness of our world? If your experience is the same as mine, you would say it's probably the latter. We need to be mature in our sexuality, rooted in God's biblical truth and his healing love. Discipleship means that we become people who are equipped to walk with other people, not just responding to questions with textbook answers. Now, the rest of this course is going to give you some core elements or paradigm shifts of sexual discipleship that will equip you in that work. But here's something very important. Discipleship always comes through us. That means that things that you're learning have to come through you first. And let me tell you, friends, over the last decade or so of ministry, I've experienced that firsthand. I can't just go out and teach until I've invited God to teach me first and humble me first. And so I hope that as you learn, that's a lens that you take in this as well.